So my name is Isaac Maier, and I am a recent graduate just this spring from the Waldorf Teacher Institute. I went through Waldorf, I grew up in the Waldorf school, kindergarten through 8th grade. Both my parents are Waldorf school teachers at the Minnesota Waldorf School. And I have been just so delighted with my experience at the Waldorf Teacher Institute for the past 3 years. One of the most incredible experiences that I can think of early on in the program. It was my first year, and we had this weekend called Biography Weekend. And during this Biography Weekend, we had an opportunity, going in, I kind of thought, well, I don't know if I want to go up there and just kind of talk to everyone about my biography and who I am, and it was a little bit nerve-wracking for a lot of us. But what came out from that was this opportunity of really living in this community together and being able to see each other for our paths that had taken us to this point. And that was one of the most incredible experiences, just getting to know these people your first year and hearing this journey, this road that led them to this point. Yes, so I am I'm getting ready this coming year in a few weeks to start my very first grade. And as you can imagine, there's lots to consider at this point. And I feel that this training from the past 3 years has really led me to this point. Alongside this training, I've been working at the Waldorf School here in Chicago for the past 3 years as a kindergarten assistant. And so being able to work alongside the training really was a wonderful experience to be able to then take that training and kind of practice it and kind of get a sense for all the intricacies of the training, and being able to practice those within the classroom and actually get a hands-on perspective of what this training does for you in the classroom. Alongside this ability to get to know the students along the way. I mean, that was a real gift. So that, as I'm stepping into this first grade year and we're looking at, all the things that we have to make accommodations for in this time, I know that I really know these students in a deeper way. And I think part of that, of course, is getting to work with them for the past few years. But the other part is really this training that allows you to get to know children in a really deep way. So I graduated 4 or 5 years ago from St. Olaf College, and I actually have a degree in music education. And so my initial thought, at St. Olaf was I want to go on and teach music education in a public school. And I got to the end of my senior year, and I just felt like this wasn't right. Something didn't click. And so I decided I wanted to take some time and volunteer. And so I went to a Camp Hill community in Scotland, and I lived there for a year. And I got just something, it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. And I really learned a lot about people and about community. And so Camp Hill is a special needs community. It's an intentional community of adults, sometimes children, but in this case it was in a community of adults with special needs. And the idea behind it is to acknowledge that we as human beings have incredible gifts to offer. Every one of us has an incredible gift to offer. And so, individuals who wouldn't be able to thrive in a typical setting in society have an opportunity to work with purpose in a Camp Hill. And so being able to live and work alongside people with special needs and live in such an intentional community is something that I think really helped me see what is best for creating community in one's own classroom then in the future. So in the spring of my time there, Actually looking at all the student loans that I had, I realized that I needed a job. I needed to look towards the future and to see what career was going to be meaningful for me. And I knew that teaching was always a path that I connected with quite well. And I just, living in Camp Hill for a long time, it made me realize the importance of my Waldorf education. And I started looking around the U.S. for an opportunity to then learn more about how one might teach in a Waldorf school. And I was actually between. There was a place in New York that I was looking at, and there was a place then here in Chicago. And the reason why I chose this place, I have a close connection with Chicago. Most of my immediate family, or my extended family, is from Chicago. And so I grew up coming here 2 or 3 times a year, and I have a bit of a connection to the city. And so kind of on a whim, I took off and decided to start this life here and experience this school, and I'm so grateful that I did. So one of the things that I think was surprising about the Waldorf Teacher Institute, and really I think quite unique about it, is that it works in this 3-year cycle. And what that means is that when you come in as first-year students, you don't have your own separate classes from everyone else. You are all taking the same courses. And so you get this opportunity to not only do you learn a lot from working with students who have been in the program for 2 or 3 years at that point, but you also get to really live in community with these individuals. And I think that's one of the things that makes this particular program very unique and very significant and special. And I think, being able to be surrounded by people with, of course, all coming from different backgrounds, some public school teachers who find Waldorf, some older people who feel like this is an important life experience for them, all the way from that to young people who maybe haven't even entered college yet, but just find this an interesting path to go down, to explore. I think being able to work and learn from a diverse array of individuals helps you to grow a lot as well.
Nice, that's beautiful.
So we are very blessed in the Waldorf Teacher Institute to have an incredible group of instructors. People who have been in the Waldorf sphere for, I don't know how many years, but many, many years, and so many gifted teachers. And the wisdom that comes from the teachers in this program is quite profound. They found opportunities to bring in teachers who had various levels of experience too. So this past year, my 3rd year, early on, we had a couple different classes where we kind of followed the curriculum of the grades from 1st grade through 8th grade. And so they actually invited teachers at the Chicago Waldorf School to come in and teach that specific grade and talk about the different things that they did within that grade. And I think, what that does is, you have the wealth and experience of these long-term teachers, but you also have some of the interesting experiences of a first-year teacher or a second-year teacher, which are also incredibly valid and incredibly worthwhile for these people who are, hopefully about to step into their first year of teaching as well. So first of all, I would say reach out, contact people within the Waldorf Teacher Institute, and let them know that you're interested in exploring this. And I think, even if there's some online classes, just check it out. Come and see what this experience is like. And, if we're able to be in person at all the better. I think you get a different sense. But what an opportunity to really grow, to understand yourself on this path, and at the same time to really understand this philosophy of teaching and how to bring it into the modern time. Throughout the year, one of the big kind of tenets of Waldorf education is we try to honor the seasons and to honor the soul qualities of what it means to move throughout these seasons, right? So it's not only this outward expression of the seasons that we see outside, but we also have those similar kinds of experiences within us, right? So I think one of the things that the Waldorf Teacher Institute does so beautifully is to highlight certain moments throughout the year. You know, when we're entering into the darkness of winter, how do we find ways of bringing light within us? And I think that's something that the Waldorf Teacher Institute does so beautifully. And for those who have the opportunity to be a part of it, it touches you in a different kind of way.